I'm going to invite Paramsid Sir Shivamji, very young, awakened master, 28 years old. So that kind of tells you that wisdom has nothing to do with age. Founder of a non-religious and a non-profit organization, Shivam Foundation. An Indian spiritual leader, absolutely a guru in mindfulness and higher order conscious living. It's an honor and a pleasure, and with gratitude, Shri Shivanji, I'd like you to talk to us on higher order consciousness, colorfully.
Thank you so much for your kind words, and namaste and warm welcome everybody. So I am first of all very thankful and honored to be a part of this wonderful platform, a beautiful initiative by you, Harleena, and the entire team. So a great initiative. So congratulations to all of you. So the topic which I have chosen today is conscious, colorful living. So as we observe around us, so much have happened in the last 1 year. Transformation is happening at a universal scale. Not only one city or country, but the entire world. The way I see this phenomena, it is teaching us to clean our mind, clarity and determination to tackle ever-changing situations. Body, constant sanitization, and we are coping fairly well. The question is how to keep our spirits high. This is what I wish to share with all. Conscious living, and colorfully too. On a lighter note, when we read spiritual leader, we tend to think that this person is very serious because of the old so-called God man. There is a conditioning which we all have. And the truth is, a spiritual being feels all colors in their inner world all the time. And this is a reward of conscious living. So let us begin this journey with a detox. So for 30 seconds, let us all disconnect from everything and remain connected with ourselves. So for 30 seconds, you may all like to close your eyes and very gently inhale and exhale. Relax your mind. Your body and your spirit. In this moment right now, all of us. And very gently and consciously, you all can open your eyes now. Reflection is the key to conscious living. So we shall reflect and converse together. I have heard one anecdote. In a Conservative Party rally, Lord Mancroft was invited to speak. He came right on time, reached the rostrum and said to the public. He was looking a little flustered. He said, "Forgive me for shortening my speech a little. But the fact is that my house is on fire. And that fact is everybody's fact. Your house is also on fire. But you don't even seem a little flustered. Everybody's house is on fire, but you're not aware of death, not aware of that your life is just passing through your hands. Every moment you're dying, every moment you are losing an opportunity which cannot be regained. The time that is lost is lost. Nothing can be done to regain it. And your life becomes shorter and shorter every moment. Conscious living. Today we shall unfold two important tenets of conscious living. Living in the now. If you observe yourself closely, we live mostly either with past memories, which could be as recent as few minutes, hours, days, and they are good or bad. Alternate to this, we live in hope or fear of the future. Let me address the future first. Hope takes us as far away from nowness as fear does. Yes, it is true. Hope takes us as far away from nowness as fear does. Both drag peace and happiness away from us. Fear paralyzes, and hope resigns to fate, destiny. We are then left with a dwindling future, vacillating between hope and fear. Now let us dwell a little on the past. Many of us go through old albums, right? You may have noticed, along with a smile, there is also a sigh, isn't it? You know why the sigh? It is because we unconsciously compare our now moment with that moment. And comparison in any form, as we know, is a drag away from happiness and peace. This is, but with good past memories, now you can imagine the powerful negative impact not so good or bad memories can have on us. Instead, we choose to make the most of now. We focus sharply on what is at hand. And as you may have noticed, the result is stupendous. And before moving to the next aspect of conscious living, let me share a research data. It has been found that a typical 20 years of work experience on a paper actually amounts to 5 to 8 years of actual output. Of course, there are exceptions. The reflection for us to dwell on. So the question comes, can we see the opportunity cost of abundance and prosperity if we choose to live or not live in nowness? Hence, start living every moment and enjoy the nectar of that very moment. उम्रे दराज मांग के लाए थे 4 दिन, उम्रे दराज मांग के लाए थे 4 दिन, 2 आरज़ू में कट गए 2 इंतजार में. This is the reality of life. If you start understanding this whole life, then the very moment which is available to each one of us becomes the nectar of the divine. Now let us talk about the second pillar of conscious living, living in gratefulness every moment. As long as there is life, there would be pleasure and pain. It is like the two pedals of a bicycle. Have you ever seen a bicycle? The movement of bicycle. When one pedal is up, another is down. And this is life. Pleasure and pain walks parallelly. We tend to chase pleasure and wish away pain. We feel achieving goals is a great idea. Maybe it is. But if that means you are dissatisfied with what you have, you're not counting your blessings. And some of you may have faced real challenging situations as well. Please remember, it is not a life sentence. They were just learnings. Living with gratefulness every moment connects us to the eternal source of joy and peace. Professor Alex Wood and his team with Jeffrey Fromm and Adam Garagatti in 2010 published a paper titled Gratitude and Well-Being. A review and theoretical integration, they concluded that gratitude is related to a variety of clinically relevant phenomena, including psychopathology, depression, adaptive personality characteristics, positive social relationships, and physical health, particularly stress and sleep. The paper also quoted a study conducted on a community of 247 people who were showing signs of excessive worrying and anxiety disorder. Through controlled gratitude intervention, they found that a sense of gratitude was effective in reducing both body dissatisfaction and excessive worry. The researchers also quoted a previous study conducted in 2003 by Ammons and McCullough, where participants were asked to maintain a daily list of events for which they were grateful, including even just waking up in the morning. The study clearly concluded that gratitude is strongly related to well-being. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita said to Arjuna, Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapyasi shashvatam. Hey Arjuna, your whole being needs to surrender for the gift of peace, happiness, and that eternal abode. The surrender Krishna is talking about is deep gratitude towards existence, towards life, and all the other valuable things it has given us. When we thank the trees for the breeze in the morning, it becomes prayer. And I have personally experienced, I don't go to temples, I don't visit to spiritual places, even though when I visit, I just enjoy the atmosphere, I enjoy the positive energies, I enjoy the music. Because for me, every moment is prayer. I don't sit for prayer. I have never sat for the prayer. Because for me, this moment when I am interacting with you is also a prayer. And the moment we start living this kind of life, our being turns into pure gratitude. Sant Kabir has said something very beautiful. Tinka kabhu nanindi. We should not even show disrespect to a speck of dust. This is a deep message that everything around us has its own value. We need to acknowledge that everything existence is offering us has the potential to bring harmony and balance in life. So this is the beautiful world. You can experience all the colors. Because it is very much available for all of us in this existence. So today we have discussed the first two tenets of conscious living. Importantly, conscious living with color requires some effort and, most importantly, deep surrender. I will be sharing some links of affirmations and few meditation techniques which will help you to experience the same. As you all are aware that 2 days back, Milkha Singh was a very famous personality, all of you are aware. He has lost his life. But you know the most important thing he has written in his last letter. I would like to read this letter for all of you. My final words would be, life as a sports person is hard, and there will certainly be times when you might be tempted to quit or take shortcuts. But remember, there are no shortcuts to success. At such times, you should try and derive inspiration from this Urdu couplet. मिटा दे अपनी हस्ती को अगर कोई मर्तबा चाहे, मिटा दे अपनी हस्ती को अगर कोई मर्तबा चाहे, कि दाना खाक में मिलकर गुले गुलजार होता है. Destroy your entire existence if you want to reach the zenith. Because a seed has to become one with the dust to sprout and blossom into a flower. So this was the session. Consciously coloring your life. So thank you so much. And if anybody wants to ask any question, if time permits, we can take a few questions.
Harleen, I will go ahead and ask a question. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sri Shivamji. So you said when we close our eyes and we're looking at the colors inside, we may not see more than 2 or 3. Well, I saw only 1. And that was like, oh my God, what am I missing? So, while the meditation helped, and it's so beautiful, you could see as you're walking us, helping us walk through the greens, you could see a few other colors come in, and that was beautiful. So tell us a little bit more about what your experience is, just an anecdote or two to say, should we do this daily? Everything requires effort and looks like this too. So in our multiple efforts of the day, what are we looking at the end of the day?
Sometimes the more effort we do, the more we tend to lose. एक बहुत सुंदर कहावत है हिंदी में, अति कर्मठता मनुष्य से वह उपलब्धि छीन लेती है जो उसे सरलता से प्राप्त होने वाली होती है. So sometimes what we need to do is just relax. Many times when time comes, we are ready to run, we are ready to do so many things. But we have to understand that too much efforts are not required. Sometimes a deep relaxation and just be watchful. And the more you watchful, the more you become wakeful. And that is the demand of current times.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the effort away from this and bringing us back to enjoying.
So I would like to share some zenith of that colors as well. So there are 7 colors in a Vibgyor. So as 7 notes, those who are connected with music can understand. And so our body as well. The etheric body. What we know about physical body is different organs, bone structure, different parts of our body as well. But there are different bodies as well. So in that etheric body, there are 7 chakras. And if you know how to align these 7 chakras, then you can understand the whole mechanism and philosophy of life. And the more colorful you become, the more colorful your being becomes, the more understanding, the more loving, the more celebrative your presence becomes.
Thank you, Shivamji. I think that was absolutely wonderful. We couldn't have asked for a more, how do I say, deeply enriching closing keynote address. You are certainly my 2021's best discovery and a gift, as I'm sure, for many others.
Thank you. Thank you.